Hey guys, what's up? It's Hope, and I'm here to bring you my month 10 Surgiversary video. I cannot even believe it's been 10 months since I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I had my surgery in Beaumont, Texas at Christus St. Elizabeth Hospital with Dr. Jerome Schraps as my surgeon. I had it on July 1st, 2013, and yesterday was May 1st, 2014. So it's been 10 whole months, and I'm so excited about that. I'm going to start off with the numbers. My highest weight ever recorded was 330 pounds. The day of surgery, I was 306. Last month, I came to you weighing in at 201. And this month, I am 195. Finally broke into Wonderland, thank God. It took me long enough to get here, but I am finally here and I am staying put. So as far as losses go, for my highest weight ever recorded, that's 135 pounds, which is remarkable, amazing, incredible. There are not enough words to describe how awesome that is. And then 111 pounds since the day of surgery. So 111 pounds in 10 whole months. That is crazy. From month 9 to month 10, the losses have definitely slowed down. I felt like it took me forever to get to Wonderland. So from month 9 to month 10, I only lost 6 pounds, but that's pretty good, all things considered. You know, I felt like it felt like it was going a lot slower than it did. But I mean, that's a pretty good loss from month 9 to month 10, 6 pounds. Not too bad. In this video, I'm going to talk about some NSVs that I've been experiencing at 10 months post-op. I'm going to talk about some of my favorite foods. I shared a food haul video with y'all last night, so if you haven't had the chance to watch that, definitely go back and watch that if you have time. I shared a lot of the foods that I bought while grocery shopping yesterday, and so I wanted to make sure and kind of share with you a little bit about what I'm eating these days. So I'm just going to jump head first so this video is not hugaciously long. And so as far as NSVs go, I haven't talked about NSVs in a couple of weeks, so it's kind of go back and start from the very beginning. When I've made my 10 things I won't miss about being fat video, I talked about how every year my family goes to the South Texas State Fair. I was most excited about being able to ride rides and not having to worry about, you know, the bar not coming down or the strap not crossing over my lap, but I didn't ride rides this year. We had the boys with us and we had my little brother with us, and it was really more important just to make sure they had fun. So that wasn't too bad. But you know, most of the time what we did focus on is food. I would not eat like all day long just to be able to eat whatever I wanted at the fair. Really, if I'm being honest, it wouldn't have mattered because I mean, typically I was eating pretty much crap food all the time anyway. But we would not eat, and then we'd go to the fair and just like gorge ourselves on all of this really horrible stuff that people have no business eating. I mean, I'm in Texas, South Texas that is, southeast part, and so they had all kinds of fried stuff like fried Nutella and fried Oreos and fried Twinkies and Snickers, and everything is fried at the fair. You know, and then you have your staples like your funnel cake and your bloomin' onions and all that stuff. And so this year we went to the fair. I was super excited about going, but I was really more excited just about being able to go with my family and not really have food be a focus. I was worried a little bit, if I'm being honest, just because there's so much stuff around you and it's like a once a year thing, and you know, I'm really strict on myself when it comes to my diet, so I knew I wouldn't break, you know, break as far as, you know, making a bad decision in nutrition goes, but I knew it was going to be pretty hard. And so I went to the fair this year with my family, and you're never going to believe what I ate. I had a chicken kebab. That's what I ate. That's all. I had a chicken kebab at the fair. That is like a huge NSV. Like, if you have ever been to any sort of fair or carnival, just being around all that food, corn dogs and ice cream and just all this crazy, yummy, delicious, bad for you food, I had a chicken kebab, and it was super delicious, and I was perfectly content with it, and it didn't bother me not one bit that my husband ate a funnel cake and my little brother had pizza and the boys had ice cream. It did not bother me at all, and I love that I have put myself in a place where it doesn't bother me. I know that how I feel right now is so much better than anything could possibly taste. So, you know, it's all about putting my nutrition first, and I'm so excited to be in a spot or a position where it didn't even bother me. But the chicken kebab was super delicious, and I was perfectly content with it, and I feel like that is a humongous NSV. Speaking of the fair, it was quite an eventful night because as soon as we pull into the fair, we have the boys with us and we have my little brother, and we're in my vehicle, and I have an SUV, a third row seat. So, I mean, everyone's packed in here pretty good, and we get to the fair, and all of a sudden I hear like choking, and Aiden, which is the youngest, he typically sits behind me, and I heard a choking noise, and I turned around, and sure enough, he was sick. Throwing up all over everything. I mean, it was like so bad, and I just remember like panicking, like, oh my gosh, he's choking. I got out of my seatbelt before I even realized what I was doing. I was in the back seat with him, getting his harness off, trying to get him to sit up, and, you know, so he could breathe and it not be, you know, so he wouldn't choke. And I remember thinking, once I got him set up and he was fine, he was okay, I remember thinking, how in the world did I get back here? Like, I mean, I hopped over the console. I was in the back seat with Brent and Aiden. Like, 10 months ago, I would have had to have gotten out of the vehicle, gotten back there with him. I mean, it took way too much time to even try and consider getting back there with him. Of course, I would have done everything possible to be able to get back there to him, but I felt like that was a huge NSV to be able to just yank my seatbelt off, jump over the console, get back there to him, and be able to get him up and just quick as anything I don't think I've ever moved so fast. That's like my biggest fear, is like a baby or a child choking, and I just remember being so scared and just like adrenaline, and I just needed to get to him. And so I felt like that was a huge NSV. I mean, just being able to hop over the console and fit back there with 2 big car seats was a huge deal. But just being able to get to him fast enough, and that like is on a whole new level of just being grateful, because like I said, 10 months ago, I would not have even been able to like turn around comfortably and look behind me, let alone getting out of my seatbelt and getting back there to him quick enough. So I felt like that was a humongous NSV. Thankfully, it was just something that he had eaten earlier before we had picked him up from his mom. And, you know, once I got him all cleaned up and, you know, got him changed, thankfully we had like, you know, wet wipes in the car, and we had new clothes in the car. So, we were definitely prepared. Definitely wasn't expecting it, obviously, but he was feeling a lot better, thankfully, and we were able to go ahead and head into the fair, and he was fine. But I felt like that was a huge NSV. Some weird things, I can scratch my own back now, which is pretty cool. Like, I can actually reach like my shoulder blade and scratch my back, which is something that I never even, I don't know, that's weird. What else? My husband just recently got a new car. It's a Hyundai Veloster. If you haven't seen them, they're really sporty and weird and futuristic, and it actually has like, it's a coupe on one side, and then on the other side it has like a third door, which is really convenient, so especially since we still have boys that are in car seats, or babies that are still in car seats. They're not babies. I mean, they're 2 and 4, but y'all know what I mean. When you have car seats in the back seat, it's hard to have like a coupe and be 2-door and having to like get them out. Anyway, I was actually able to fit comfortably in the back while putting Aiden and Brent in their car seats. I got back there, no problem, and I never would have been able to do that 10 months ago. So that was a pretty cool thing. I'm getting tons of compliments these days. People definitely noticing that I look a lot different. Still people not noticing me, which is very strange, or not recognizing who I am, which is very weird. Let's see. I myself am noticing a lot more in pictures. Like, my face obviously is probably the most dramatic thing. Well, I mean, my body too, but for me to notice in pictures is really cool. What else? For Easter, we had a ton of family over, and we set up like a volleyball net outside in our backyard, and we literally played volleyball, me and my whole family, all afternoon, and it was so much fun to be outside, to actually be enjoying doing something active. 10 months ago, that would not have been the case. I would have been one of the ones that were sitting on the porch kind of staring, watching other people play. But it was so much fun. Like, we literally played like 3 or 4 games, and I wasn't winded, and I didn't feel like I was going to pass out, and it was just lots of fun being able to like create those memories with my family, and be able to have so much fun doing something that that was really active. So I felt like that's a huge NSV. One of my best friends from high school is having a baby. She's actually due in June, and recently we had our baby shower, and I was in charge of doing the candy buffet. And if you don't know what a candy buffet is, I mean, they're pretty popular right now for special events. It's basically just like a humongous area of nothing but vases full of different kinds of candy. And I was responsible for doing the candy buffet for her shower, and I thought it was really cool how I wasn't even tempted, not one time. And we're talking like, it cost me probably about $200 for all this candy. I mean, it was like a humongous candy buffet, and just all these different types of candy. And I had it in my house, I mean, for a good while, because you have to prepare, you know, and I wasn't even tempted. Did not want one piece of candy, didn't want it at all. And so I felt like that was a huge thing for me. And that just kind of goes back to, you know, food not controlling me. It doesn't control my life anymore. I am in charge. And that's just a humongous victory. I feel like that is just, no words can describe how good that feels. And so I wanted to make sure and talk about that. Last but certainly not least, the confidence. I am probably the most confident I've ever been in my whole life. Used to, I would just cower behind people, and if I was called on to speak to a group, it was like, oh, please don't call on me. Just really self-conscious, and especially around large groups of people. Another thing in my 10 things I won't miss about being fat was feeling like I'm the fattest person in the room, or feeling like I'm the biggest one in all of my group of friends or all of my family. And I don't feel that way anymore, and I definitely don't miss feeling that way. It's really cool just to be confident in yourself and you know, really feel like you're important. And I felt like for so long you know, wrapped my value up in my value as a person and how I looked. And I feel like that is so ridiculous. And I know a lot of people probably struggle with that. You feel less than, you feel, you know, not equal to other people because you are a big person. And I feel like that perspective is something that I'm always going to keep in the back of my mind, because I feel like it makes me grateful, so much more grateful for where I am right now. And I just couldn't be more grateful for that. And so that's pretty much it as far as NSVs go. Some struggles I'm having right now is I've started wearing compression garments. It's really just the top. It's more like a spaghetti strap that's really super tight and kind of sucks me in. I've talked about in previous videos how I'm having a lot more issues with skin these days. And so I just feel like wearing, you know, compression tops really just kind of make sure things are where they need to be. And it makes me feel a little less self-conscious. So that's a good thing. Another struggle is sometimes, like when I take pictures, I feel like my face looks weird, like just this part of my face, and I feel like that's just me being really ridiculous and critical of myself. I have too much to be grateful for, and instead of trying to nitpick every little thing, I really try to focus more on the NSVs of this journey. The last thing I want to talk about is I recently had a job interview. I've been at my current position probably for about 6.5 months now, working higher education at a local university, and my dream position became available about a month ago, and I applied for it and I was selected. 10 months ago, I would not have had the confidence to do that. I would have been perfectly content sitting where I was. I was in the same department for 6 years, and just, you know, hitting the roof the ceiling as far as advancement goes. There was nowhere to go. And I'm super excited about that potential opportunity to be able to advance and really have this dream job that I've looked forward to hopefully being able to be in for so long. And so just the confidence and just all of these NSVs make this journey what it is. And I'm just so grateful to be where I am. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye!